So what do I need to do here? Nothing works. Do I need to press again? Press again?
Hold it!
All the evidence, you say? That's the same. But the defense just demonstrated another possible explanation for the events on the night in question. Oh yeah, what do you make of that? What, your so-called skin prints? It's an exciting new forensic investigation technique, developed by the great detective himself. The numerous handprints on the wall are clearly out of the ordinary. And if Mr. Shamspeare had indeed put his mouth to the gas pipe, it can't be denied that there's a possibility that's where the poison was. Well, yes, I won't deny that it's playing on my mind. But as the prosecution rightly says, we should pay no heed to unacceptable forms of evidence. And besides... Yes? Even if the fellow has been up to some mischief with the gas pipes dozens of times before, it doesn't mean he got up to the same shenanigans on the night in question, does it? Oh. If you can't make your case better than that, I'm afraid I can't change my stance. That makes sense. Wait, what is happening? What am I doing? Oh. What is happening? Oh, we're still in questioning of this one, but she wants to say something now, okay? You do make a very valid point, sir. What? That's true, perhaps I was a little hasty. Oh, what? No, wait. Look, you've got your chance here, haven't you? So it's time to prove your theory. If you and your Japanese cohorts can, that is. Just leave our nationality out of this, please. Mr. Naruhodo, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that changed their minds before me very well changed them back. What can I do? Is there any more proof I could give here? Can I show that Mr. Shamspeare really did blow down the gas pipe? I have supporting testimony from Natsume, right? I think he mentioned something about gas in the night in question. Now, in truth, I don't have evidence to support my theory. However, there's witness testimony that substantiates it. What's that? Testimony? This is incredible. Whose testimony? Yes, it's all connected. Everything is linked. A person whose testimony revealed details about the gas in the Garudab residence that night. Namely... Oh, wait. Garudab? What did he say again? I don't remember. I don't remember what he said, but it has to be Garudab, right?
Take that!
Well, Mr. Foreman, does that... Oh, it wasn't Garudab?
Rest assured, Toss, I shan't let such nonsensical answers get away with it.
Okay. There was someone. That's what I thought too. Okay, it was Natsume. Okay, wait. It was Natsume then, right?
Hold it!
Okay, yeah. Man, that's a very long interrogation. Testimony. I know someone who said something about that. Natsume.
Take that!
Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume himself. The defendant. At the very beginning of the proceedings here in court yesterday, Mr. Natsume said the following.
My lodgings, there's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me!
Oh right, I forgot about that. On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the court, was that a mere coincidence or not? Golly! So that Shamspeare fellow blew air into the gas pipe to make the man's stove go out on purpose?
No, the horses there. What would he do that for?
Mr. Foreman? What is it, man? We cannot allow judgment to be passed whilst this doubt remains. It's true that I don't have conclusive evidence yet, however, you must surely agree, there's more to this case than meets the eye. Fair enough. Like I said at the outset, I'm a man of logic first and foremost. That's 4 jurors leaning towards not guilty, my lord. We've overturned this decision. Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue.
As the defense has rightfully indicated, the summation examination has concluded with the majority of jurors altering their decisions. 2 jury members now call guilty, 4 now call not guilty. Therefore, the jury's opinion is conflicted and, in accordance with the law of this land, I hereby order the continuation of this trial. Mr. William Shamspeare?
My lord, how can thy humble Shamspeare serve thee?
What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examinations?
O God meant me, I do solemnly swear. I recall aught of either the lamp or the pipe.
But your handprints have been the tiny mess all over the wall here. How do you explain that, eh?
I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already, juror number 5.
Woohoo me!
As I went to some pains to point out already, a brand from the self-professed detective's toy has no place in the British court of law. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains at this time an established conjecture. You would all do well to remember that. But we can change that. We can analyze or find out if there are traces of poison on the pipe.
Objection!
But the prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth of the gas pipe feeding that lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room to be examined. If there are traces of poison there.
Objection!
What appears to be extremely simple is my Nipponese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of tea were required. Yes? Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison were to have been spread on the pipe, it would have completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible. I didn't think of that.
In any case, Counsel, I fail to see what could possibly have motivated a man to do as you describe. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air into the gas pipework where he lived?
He wanted that room for himself for some reason. There's only one possibility that I can think of, and that is to use the leaking gas to commit murder.
Order, Counsel! Precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end?
The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamspeare wanted to end the life of Soseki Natsume.
Take that!
If a gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing.
I live around this part myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without a stove that is pretty much suicide. You'll freeze to death in no time.
Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shamspeare was trying to end.
Outrageous!
I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder.
Good gracious!
Objection!
The accused is actually the aggrieved. Interesting. However, the fundamental facts of the case remain unchanged. Namely, that the accused is the aggressor here. What? How can you still claim that? Let us indulge your fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison on the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that then arises is, who put it there? Who did put it there? The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his intent to kill.
Yes, it would indeed seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison?
So now we must ask, how could anyone have known of Mr. Shamspeare's murderous designs? You mean to suggest? Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question could be more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known. What? In other words, the person who put the poison in the gas pipe in what was a clear retaliatory attack can only have been the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Whatever Mr. William Shamspeare may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. And the only person who could possibly have perpetrated that attack is the accused, Mr. Natsume. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused, far from it. In fact, now that a clear motive for the poisoning has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Would you not agree, my Nipponese friend? How did he manage to turn that around on me so rapidly? Mr. Naruhodo, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again. And this may be our last chance to gain the advantage.
What advantage?
Well, it would seem that somebody put poison on a gas pipe in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt. What? Name that person now? You mean name the true culprit? I know it might sound impossible, but if we fail to do that, I have no doubt that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed once and for all. Don't say that. As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence, the poison, is all pointing to a particular person now. What are you talking about? What? What? The prosecution calls for the jury to consider their leanings again. I trust you make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman. What? Oh, don't you worry, we know exactly what... There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all of this. The true culprit of this crime.
The true culprit?
A term found only in second-rate novels featuring third-rate great detectives, meant Phoenix Wright. But why not? This farce has gone on for so long already, I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax. Thank you for giving me a chance time and time again. Tell us, my Phoenix friend, what is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime? Oh my god, we only have one chance. True culprit. So presumably, it was the same method used to kill Duncan Ross, right? Oh my god, what? He's only 23? Why does he look so old? What the heck? How old am I? How old am I? How is he only 23? I can't believe that. I mean, comparing him to Duncan Ross, like, this must be a mistake. Okay. Anyway. So, if we assume this is the same method used to kill Duncan Ross, then of course, Olive Green would have a motive, but she can't have done it. She was comatose. Or someone wanted to poison Meterman, or some Ultimate Gas employee. In which case, who has a motive here? Who wants to do that? Probably Shamspeare. But that is impossible. Where did Duncan Ross live again? In Soseki-san's apartment or in Shamspeare's apartment? I don't remember. I think in Soseki's apartment, because his apartment is cursed. Then who killed Duncan Ross? Who killed Duncan Ross? Oh damn, I can't get to my other evidence. I can't get to my evidence. And okay, the reason why Shamspeare wanted to live in the same room as Natsume, so in the same room that Duncan Ross is in. And I think, and Garudeb didn't let him because, well, Soseki-san was already living in that room. So I think what he had in mind was kill Natsume and then move into his room Because he believes there's something in the room. Something of great value, perhaps. Maybe the treasure. And how does he know that, actually? How does he know that? Because he was in the same prison as the criminal. Maybe. And he found out about the treasure that way. Okay. This is all just conjecture. Olive green. I need to save. I need to save. If I fail this, I lose. I don't know. I don't know. Gary Depp? He knew about the gas pipes. Right, he knew about the gas pipes. And he does want to prevent another death caused by the gas, caused by gas poisoning. But I mean, as a landlord, he doesn't want anyone dead, poisoned by blowing into a gas pipe, I guess, right? Either. Huh. Doesn't make any sense. The letter. We found a piece of torn off envelope in Mr. Shamspeare's room. And it's the envelope of the letter that she received. So, but I think she received the envelope intact, right? So maybe she has been to Shamspeare's apartment and accidentally lost the envelope, like part of the envelope there. That could be a reason, right? But she's been comatose. She's just regained consciousness. But I can't think of anyone else.
Take that!
The name of the person responsible for the poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare is, I believe, Miss Olive Green.
Miss Olive Green? Miss Olive Green? I do feel as though I've heard that name in the recent past, Counsel, but I don't recall where.
Miss Olive Green, the woman from 6 days ago. The victim in the recent case of stabbing on Briar Road. An incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add.
Oh, of course, yes, Miss Green. She was left comatose for some 3 days, I believe. But I hear she regained consciousness 2 days ago.
And I hardly need to remind the court that Mr. Shamspeare poisoning took place 3 days ago. Given that the woman was lying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi. True, on the night that the incident occurred, Miss Green was in hospital, unconscious. So on the face of it, it would seem that she couldn't possibly be responsible, but still. My colleagues and I visited Miss Green in hospital yesterday, and we found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison.
Oh, good gracious, she had poison?
And there's another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to the court.
Tell me, Mr. Shakespeare.
My lord, pray, what be thy bidding?
Are you acquainted with Miss Green?
No, never heard of her. Judging by the look on Mr. Shakespeare's face, I think perhaps he genuinely doesn't know her, at least not by name. As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my learned Nipponese friend's farce through to its conclusion. I appreciate that. The prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena the witness and bring her here. That's a first, right? Normally he would just say, this is pettifoggery and insolence and irrelevant. But no. He wants to see this farce to its conclusion. I mean, it isn't a farce, obviously.
Yes, Miss Olive Green.
Indeed, my lord. 1 hour should be sufficient.
Very well, I grant a request.
Excellent, I hope.
The defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say, but at the present time I fear the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned.